Gentlemen, let's get straight into it.
And I don't like when someone's faster than me.
I don't care, drive.
You know, he doesn't make many mistakes himself.
Purely for the bedroom, but anyway, that's a different interview.
Probably I'm still about more than a half second away from him.
The secrets are coming out. Thank you, Carnex. Right, moving on to the next sort of statement to challenge you here is that Formula One should be about pushing the limits in every aspect. And modern Formula One, we've touched on this a little bit now. Heavier, you've got to manage battery, you've got to manage starting with 100 kilograms of fuel. So I'm picking up from our initial conversation that you would agree that modern Formula One is more about managing than pushing 100%.
Yeah, I mean, in the race nowadays, you want to do a one-stop because the problem is you can't really pass with these kind of cars on most of the tracks. So what you do, you just back it out a bit. You know that the guy behind will get stuck. You just make sure you have the tire life to go to the end after your stop. So, and of course, with some tracks we have to lift for fuel because the fuel tank is not big enough to go flat out all the time. So I would, of course, always prefer to go flat out. Like we had in Germany, to be honest, there was last like 12 laps, low fuel, we had new tires, and then you're pushing. Then you can see also the lap times were coming down, and we were only 2.5, 3 seconds, I think, off, 2.5. Of what we did in qualifying. I think that's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, I think in our time, then we would be within a couple of seconds of qualifying pace because the cars were lighter. So I guess we never managed, did we?
And also refueling, we had to push all the time.
Yeah.
So that was good, and that's how the racing should be. You have to push and go to the limit.
It will also be better anyway on the tires if the car is a lot lighter.
Yeah. No, we didn't. I mean, now is all the things about tire management, fuel saving. We didn't do any of that. So
the race started. You went as quickly as you could.
Of course, yeah.
To the end. When you mentioned refueling, we couldn't chat to you without mentioning Hockenheim when you lost your eyebrows briefly. Thankfully, they look like they're back, but that was when a refueling goes wrong. So I guess that's one of the reasons they took it away. But just because you lost your eyebrows, that doesn't seem that they should have taken it away from Formula One completely.
No, I think it should be there, you know, or. I mean, but at least, you know, go flat out all the time. Even when they run with 100 kilos of fuel, you know, if you have the tires, and they shouldn't do about fuel saving or whatever, you know. I think it's racing, it's Formula One, it's the highest in the world, and they should go flat out all the time, pushing the limits.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And watching the way you race, I think you would definitely enjoy that because some of let's say, the more height challenge drivers don't look as physically strong. You know, I don't want to seem heightist, but I've always, you know, and I don't know if you get it when people meet you, they've seen you on television and you're a little bit taller than your father, but I get it where people will say, oh, you're taller than I would imagine for a racing driver. And I'll always say, well, in my time, it was quite difficult to fit in the cars. Yeah. We didn't have the big cockpits that they have today. But then I will always say that but the downside is that you struggle to fit in the cars while you race. But the upside is when you retire, you're not one of these little guys. So, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm 181, so I'm fine. But of course, when you get to like 186, 188, you struggle with your knees. You know, everything is of course going to become a bit tighter. Also, your feet can't be too big.
That's why I had a problem. My feet were always too big. I had to cut the top of the shoe off and things like that.
You know what they say about a man with big feet?
I know that.
So you were quite happy you had to cut the top of your boots
while you were
racing.
I didn't mind at all.
Yeah, no, that's a different time. In terms of weight, again, touching to our era, if we were, you know, more than 75 kilos with a race suit helmet, then we lost some performance with ballast on the car. Is it a weight issue for drivers today, or can you be comfortably?
Yeah, because I mean the cars are very heavy. It's very difficult for the teams to be on the weight target. What the FIA, of course, brings out. Nowadays it's 80 kilos, but your seat is included, and your seat is almost 2 kilos, like 1.92 kilos. So you can be 78. I'm 78, so it's it's on the edge. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, some drivers they're like 70 kilos, 71, but they're also 172 or 73, so they're a bit smaller.
Yeah.
But then, the taller drivers, they of course automatically are on the limit. Yeah.
They're so little, aren't they? So
Most
cute.
of them are,
So
yeah.
cute.
Some of them.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it's nothing compared to MotoGP. They are very small.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, Marquez is
Yeah.
tiny, isn't he? Yeah.
But then you see how like strong they are.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Well, when you mention that, so this is a small version of your race helmet, but this is actually the Lando Norris real size helmet. he's really that small, or Marc Marquez. And we can see a couple of helmets here. We've got Jos's helmet from
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Was that a good result?
2000, I don't know. Was
P6.
it 2000, I think. P5.
Must have been for the, what is it?
For the football, we did that.
European?
Yeah, it was a European championship.
European
I think the evening before they lost, so they were out, and I wear this helmet.
Yeah, it's
on
European.
the Sunday. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Orange is a very popular colour in your country.
Yeah, that's why. That's why it's orange.
Simple.